Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And this is a shout out to Kevin, who brought this article to my attention. And basically, it's an article in the South African online paper, which suggests that recent spate of farm attacks dispels racially motivated rhetoric. Isn't that a really divisive heading? Let's see what this guy has to say. He says, a violent wave of farm attacks has recently swept over the interior of South Africa, leaving several seriously injured and almost as many dead. The issue of farm attacks has polarized South Africa for a number of critical reasons. It's not because of a lack of public compassion or the absence of outrage over senseless killings, but because of the racial overtones attached to the violent incidents. It's a racial rhetoric attached to farm attacks which serve as a divisive and isolating force in a country plagued by social inequality, largely along racial lines, entering into a battle of identity politics, which, more than often than not, come with an ulterior agenda, negates the struggle for unity and progressive social cohesion. Okay, that's his opening gambit in this article. Now, I would just make a couple of little comments here. The first is that none of the media have talked objectively, I'm talking about the mainstream media, have talked objectively about what happened over the Easter weekend with all these farm murders and farm attacks. You know, they totally ignored it. And now that they're actually being pushed to say something about it, they bring in the race card. Yep. The media bring in the race card. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the results of a poll, which is currently online, where 83% of over 1,500 people say that the media have zero credibility. And this is exactly why they say that. Because what the media do is they put their spin and their narrative on it, and they change the whole context of the discussion. So what is now an appalling weekend, Easter weekend, where there were so many farm attacks, has now become a divisive racial issue, according to the paper. Do you see how the spin is thrown in? Okay, what are the benefits of being someone high up in the ANC? Well, corruption is obviously one of them. And this is a story that hasn't got legs in the mainstream media in South Africa. It's a little paper called the 013 News in Mpumalanga that has actually run the story that basically gives more background to the Helen Zille tweet. Mpumalanga ANC PEC member Democracy Zwane is reportedly owed an amount of 70 million rand in a dodgy Ermelo deal that saw municipal property being bought by him and then given back to the municipality for renting. The deal is now the subject of a Hawks investigation, and documents have already been obtained by investigators. Zwane bought the public property for just over 430,000 rand. That's then proceeded to charge the Mosagligwa local municipality in Ermelo an amount of 800,000 rand each month to rent the land from him. 800,000 rand a month to rent the land when he paid half of that to buy the land. That's not a bad deal, I reckon. The paper said it saw the agreement between the Democracy Family Trust and the municipality, and the document details the sale of 1.3 hectares of property in Ermelo to the trust by the municipality 11 years ago, The property has on it a reservoir and a water pressure structure that pumps water in the area. Samuel Duby Democracy Zwane is the only trustee of the trust, and now he is the subject of a fraud and corruption investigation by the Hawks. The 70 million rand that is owed by the municipality to Zwane is due to arrears in renting his property. You can't make this shit up, can you? I mean, really, it's just absolutely crazy. Hawks spokesman Brigadier Hangwani Maladzi told the paper that they had obtained documents at the municipality and were busy probing fraud and corruption. He said the Hawks had referred the matter to the Special Investigation Unit, SIU, for President Cyril Ramaphosa's proclamation and for assistance in further investigation. Well, good luck with that. This one's going to just die in a hole as well, that's for sure. The Hawks are not commenting further on the matter until certain individuals are approached for statements, Maladzi said. An insider who alerted the Hawks about the alleged corruption at the municipality told the National Weekly that this was discovered during a council meeting in January 2018. The municipality presented their financial records, and among them was a 56.3 million rand legal bill, but there was no explanation as to what it was for. In court records, I found agreements for the sale, lease, and how the municipality had paid for the relocation of water servitude pipes to Zwane so that he could develop the property. The agreements were signed by different Ermelo municipality managers between 2008 and 2016. The documents show how in 2013, Zwane swapped his properties for a property of the same size across the road next to the airport. When the airport management learned of his plan to build a shopping centre and fuel station and put a stop to it, he had reversed the property swap. At that point, there was no lease agreement with the municipality. That only came in February 2016 when they signed the lease agreement, and they backdated it to 2011. According to the Municipal Financial Management Act, a municipality may only sell a capital asset if a decision has been taken in a council meeting. There is also permitted only if the asset is not needed to provide services to people and a fair market value for the asset is required, which clearly is not the case here. But the Ermelo property sale and its rental has been kept secret from the council until the legal bill got discovered. No explanation has ever been provided about the rental and the reason why it was signed in 2016, 8 years after the property was bought, or why it was backdated to 2011 after being signed in 2016. Court documents seen by the paper show how the municipality accepted the lawfulness of the rental agreement that they have with Zwane. There was never a time when they ever challenged it. In September 2017, Zwane successfully sued the Musuligwikwa municipality for 53.6 million rand in rental arrears dating back to 2011. The land was one of the two adjoining properties Zwane bought from the municipality. He bought the first in July 2005. He then built a shopping centre and fuel station on that land. Through the 2017 judgment, instructed the municipality to pay what is owed to Zwane when he was in court suing them, but as believed officials only paid Zwane 5 million rand. He is now owed 70.8 million rand. Both the municipality and the SIU are not commenting on the matter. They say the matter is still under investigation. Zwane's lawyers said they would respond to media queries but need sufficient time to look at questions. Now, if that's not corruption staring you in the face, God knows what is. And there are so many stories like this that the fake news could be talking about. And I'm talking about, like the SABC TV. I'm talking about papers like The Citizen. But no, doesn't fit the narrative. But farm murders and their little slant on that makes a perfect little story reflecting how fake the media is in South Africa, as it is around the world. Cheers, guys. Have a good evening. Bye for now. And please remember to